Alright folks, I am going to finish off the line art here for Kuyomi, this character on the left here with the lance. So I realized I made a mistake that I had started a new layer of line art for this character when I had already started it and had it in a different layer. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep this, make it invisible. It's just that the faces were slightly different, but pretty much almost everything was the same. And in the previous layer, I had already addressed the issue of the curvature of the cloth kind of changing there. So here's what we'll do. I'll just keep this layer. I'll keep the other layer in case for some reason or another anyone ever requests the PSD file, like the source file of this piece. And I do want to talk about my focus right now, which is the same focus I've been doing in my previous videos, which is preventing the undo button from happening too much. I do use it a lot, and I want to focus on accuracy and saving time. So just putting a real concentration. This is something I've struggled with for many, many years, and something that sort of plagues a lot of digital artists, where you see them doing a bunch of fast strokes and then undo, undo, undo. And I just want to focus on just getting it right. And one of the ways to do that is by staying zoomed out and keeping things generally accurate. It does not have to be perfect, because when people look at these things from far away, and you get the story already, you get the idea, you get the picture, then you don't necessarily have to worry about all the details getting right. I mean, that's how ink drawing worked in the past. Obviously, you could have masterful level inkers who are able to get like their perfectly accurate lines, upon inking. But I'm not at that level. I mean, I'm at a level that I got to keep working at it. But I don't have to get too crazy to the point where I'm just undo, 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 and erasing, because at that point I'm not really improving. I'm just trying to make the lines perfect, and I'm not actually taking data, because it is true that if I see a line is off and I try to make it better, then the result will be better. But I'm not like mentally registering what made the stroke off. So if I slow down, focus on accuracy, and then really try to understand why the stroke was off, and instead of like using the undo tool, use the eraser tool to kind of just fix the line. There's a little bit more mental involvement there, and it takes a lot of concentration, which is good for me, because in order for me to actually improve, I need to be thinking about what I'm doing. There's only so much you can just absorb naturally without thinking, and I have to think through this one. So that said, I'm just gonna kind of be going through every detail here, and I'm trying to focus also on like major details and making them look right. For example, here I noticed that this cloth, I do want the shoulder pad to be visible. The pauldron is what it's called. Like this, I think like that. And then I think the color of it is gonna be like it's just gonna be a white armor, silver plate armor there. And this is part of the cape or cloak. Do a little bit of occlusion shading there, and then a little bit in here. Yeah, just some lines like that. And then a little bit of lines right there, and maybe some little buckles. And then we'll clean up this area. So again, I'm focused on using pen and eraser, and I'm gonna just be messing around with line weight as I go. Now this part is kind of interesting. I think this sash part is supposed to go in that way, so we'll just sort of adjust it there. Now I will use undo if the line is like way off, so I think that's permissible. This is a chainmail texture. I'm just going to use the line art to kind of express that. And we'll do more of those little lines when we get into the color phase. But in the meantime, we'll just use line weight here to show that there is a chainmail texture there. Also another thing too, I noticed on Rockwell's belt, I kind of want to fix this now with Rockwell's belt. This buckle was not thick enough, so we're going to bring it out some more. Let it jut down a bit lower too. Kind of treat it like that. Surface area, something like this, and then curve around that way. Yeah, there, that looks a bit better. Maybe some kind of buckle attachment there. Something like that. Doesn't have to be too detailed. Sometimes I really try to make sense of the physical aspect of what I'm looking at, but sometimes you can just throw in design elements. I don't know. That seemed to make sense for me. Okay, we'll get back in the Kuyomi layer. Now, this looks pretty satisfying. Is there anything missing here? Any details that need to be fixed? Oh, wrong layer. Right here. Right there. Okay, get some little bit of occlusion here under the belt buckle as well. Okay, he was supposed to have a... Let's bring up the sketch. He was supposed to have a sheath on his right side. Now, where in the sketch did I put that? Was it on his left side? I might have to check the notes here. I think it was on his left side. This would make sense. Yeah, we'll just put it on the left. Let's see here. Where did I put it in the sketch? I don't see it there. Let's draw two. Draw one. Oh, I put it in draw one. Okay, so we're actually going to take this silhouette here I made and use that general area. So it's going to be like right here. We'll put a sword. And then I do want the silhouette to make sense. So I'm going to... I always do a sword like a cross shape. So we'll just do it this way. I'll just make a line. And I'll use that line to guide my sword. And he did say it's a short sword, or she did say it's a short sword, so I'll just keep that in mind here. Now I'm just going to erase this here, clean up those lines, and I have this general way of drawing swords. Medieval swords, they do have like a simple hilt with a little bit of a guard at the top and bottom. So, and this sword is going to be showing like kind of at an angle here. So, like this. Any kind of ridges on the sword, maybe a little bit of texture there on the hilt, and then the what do you call this? The cross guard. I'm gonna make it kind of medieval looking with little tips at the ends on both sides, and then here we're gonna use our straight line tools again, like that. Straight line tool here. I wonder if I was doing traditionally, you know, I would use a straight edge, I guess, for something like this. It's not going in the right location. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay. Okay, no, it's supposed to be a sheath, actually. So why am I drawing the whole metal part of the sword? So it will be like this. At least I drew it. The sheath would stop right here. And then we'll come this way. And then we'll kind of round off the edge since we're creating a sheath. I'll put a little tip on the sheath too. Rounded tip. Metallic cover here. Let's get this a little bit more stylish. Maybe like this. Not really sure how these are supposed to look, but that looks good enough. And then here we'll get a strap here. This will be like leather. Double strap it like that. And then how the sheaths usually work is that let's have a rope beneath the pouch. Oh, my phone's temperature went too high. I was streaming on Twitch in a car, so it ended up being too high. So it kind of just went dim or shut off the whatever processes are being run. I was streaming on Twitch while recording this video. Okay. So okay. What am I missing here? So we got, I'm just gonna zoom out a little bit and see if there's any, is there any like major details that need to be fixed? Because everything looks pretty good. So these are gonna be greaves. So I know that the way the plate armor works is kind of like layered pieces, kind of like on the shoulder. So we're gonna draw those in. Layered pieces of metal that wrap around the foot. Maybe some kind of spur on the back. I don't know. Yeah, we'll leave that there. And then how many did it make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1. We'll have it stop right there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring it all the way to the close to the floor here. Bring this top part of the foot up a little bit. Okay, so things look a little rough here around the feet, so I might use the eraser tools to sort of clean up some of these borders. Now my inking brush is a little bit thick. Kind of does give me like a comic looking style rather than the clean digital line art style, which actually, I mean, this is my preference, you know. It reminds me of traditional work. Oh, I dropped my pencil. Okay, so now here I think this is good enough. Any major mistakes I will probably notice as I'm coloring, and I can just adjust them as I go. So I'm gonna erase that little line there. Things look a bit messy around here, but we're just gonna, I think, roll with it. I think this is still chainmail right here, so I might give this some texture. Oh yeah, and there was like a little tassel in the middle too, so I forgot. Let's put that one in. It would be on the other sketch layers. So it would be right around here. Okay. Get another line right here. And then, so she wanted some kind of insignia. I think it was, where is it in my reference? This piece right here. So let's actually blow this up a little bit, or move it so where I can see it. And I want to move this in such a way that I can see it close to his chest. So let's just draw it in. It's gonna be pretty small, so I don't want to worry too much about making it like super precise. But let's get some kind of necklace in here that's visible. yeah, some kind of chain like right here that's visible. I guess over the cloak is fine. He might tuck it under if he's like, moving a lot. But we'll just let it hang out. Maybe he wants it to hang out. I don't know. That's up to the original designer. But since it was an item that was asked to be featured, I'm going to go ahead and feature it right here. So I'm just going to draw it pretty generally with my black inker. It is quite detailed, but instead of making it like super detailed, I'm just going to keep it general shape of how it's supposed to be. So the little points I'm going to have like that. Okay, around the little diamond there is another like almost diamond shaped border, and then little points coming out that way, this way, to the bottom, and this way. And then when we color it, we might mess with the line art a little bit as we color it, but you can definitely see it there. Yeah, I can make it a little pointy. Might use the eraser tool to make the tips more pointy. Okay. How's this looking? Something's off about this gauntlet here. And I think this might wrap around a little bit higher. And then this might come down a little bit lower if we're comparing it to the other one on the other arm. Okay, bring this down. And I think the whole angle of it overall, because the arm is like going upwards, the forearm from the elbow, and it's not exactly like curving back towards away from the viewer. So this angle might actually be wrong the way I'm drawing this. So this actually might kind of go straight up. Okay. How's that? And I'll just put these lines in. Okay. So I think I'm ready to start painting. So we're gonna make another layer. We're gonna call this Kuyomi Final. Let's rename this one. Now this video is getting a little bit long. I can feel that it's getting long, but let's just quickly throw in the color fill as I did in the previous video. So I'm gonna move this layer down. We're gonna call this, I'll call it Ku Color, and I'll call this one Rock Color. And then over here we will use our color fill tool to get that base layer of color in. Oh yeah, I made a new rule for myself too. So when we do this, we can actually, it would be more efficient if we started from the bottom right and move our way upwards, so that my pencil does not get in the way of the lines that I'm doing. I guess as I go back down, it will, but in general, as I'm going up, I can see where my lines are. And I think, yeah, counterclockwise I can see everything, and it's not a problem. So that's the rule. So we start from the bottom here, go up and counterclockwise, and then move all the way back down, and then do that. I think that's my process. So I am getting accustomed to the double tap now. I did prefer the Krita and Clip Studio lasso fill tool, where you just lasso it in one stroke and it already goes. Here you have to double tap to confirm that that's where you want to fill. But that's okay. Now, the ultimate tool is going to be Clip Studio Paint's lasso fill tool with the edge detection enabled, so you would be able to lasso fill this and not even have to worry too much about going past the borders. So, I do have a subscription to Clip Studio. I don't know if my subscription to Clip Studio would apply, because I had it on Windows and I'm using iPad now. I don't know if that license carries over, or if it's like a license per device or something. I don't know. If any of you know, please let me know. Can I color fill this like this? No, it has to be on the oh no, oh no, oh, I made a mistake. Okay, this is a learning experience. While I was still in the selection, I did the color drop tool, which filled in the whole thing, and when I hit undo, it used the whole color drop as part of the selection, and then the whole thing was deleted. Okay, so I gotta go back here and do it again. But that said, we learned. We're gonna take notes on that mistake, and let's actually stop the video here, because we're just gonna pretty much start the next video with the same thing. But I'm gonna start painting in the next video, so talk to you guys soon. I'll prepare myself mentally for digital painting. God bless. Bye bye.